All right, the song we'll talk about today is called A Couple More Years, was written by Shel Silverstein. He's known mainly as a writer of children's books. He wrote Where the Sidewalk Ends, The Giving Tree. Both were on the list of the 100 great children's books of all time. Shel Silverstein was also quite a Renaissance man, and he not only wrote a lot of songs that were covered by other people, he produced Broadway plays. One of his first gigs, he was in the Army, and he fought in Korea in the 50s. Then he came back to the States and started his professional career as a cartoonist. And there's a lot of cartoons that are fairly racy for Playboy and Sports Illustrated and stuff like that. Anyway, a truly unique and creative thinker. He also wrote A Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash and had just a number of hits that all exhibit his quirky character. Anyway, this song is called A Couple More Years. I really love this song because it's very conversational. Most of the lyrics in this song are something that you would just say to someone. You hear one person talking to another person in a bar, and these are all statements you might hear. It's a very simple song musically. It only uses 3 chords. Depending on how much you know about music theory, it's the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. We're in the key of D. So we're hanging out here, which is where we resolve and where we relax and where we begin to tell a story. We start here, we go here, we go here, we build a little tension and then resolve back to the 1. All right, this song is called A Couple More Years by Shel Silverstein. It was made famous actually twice. He wrote it probably 74, 75, but in 1976 it was on a Waylon Jennings record called Are You Ready for the Country? And it was also a hit for Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show. Shel Silverstein wrote almost all of the music that that band did and had hits with and all that stuff. So here it is, A Couple More Years. I've got a couple more years on you, babe, that's all. And I've had more chances to fly and more places to fall. It's not that I'm wiser, it's just that I've spent more time with my back to the wall. Oh, now I've got a couple more years on you, babe, that's all. Now I've walked a couple more roads than you, babe, that's all. And I'm tired of running while you're still learning to crawl. You're headed somewhere, and I've been to somewhere and found that it's no place at all. Oh, now I've walked a couple more roads than you, babe, that's all. Now saying goodbye, girl, never so easy at all. But you gotta fly now, you're hearing them young eagles call. But someday when you're older, you stand and you smile at a man who stands strong and tall. You say I've walked a couple more roads than you, babe, that's all. You say I've got a couple more years on you, babe, that's all. One of the things I love about that song is how conversational and simple it is, yet how sophisticated it is. There are only 3 chords in this song, and they're the most common 3 chords in pop music. If you were to play Louie Louie, or to play Hang On Sloopy, hang on Sloopy, Sloopy hang on, whatever, it's twist and shout, the roots of rock and roll almost. Everything Elvis did in an earlier part of his career, blues. We've got these same 3 chords, the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. They're named that because as our main scale that we use in Western music has 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and it kind of starts over and repeats the cycle. The first, the fourth, and the fifth note of that scale becomes the root of each chord. So you've got the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. We get back to our D, which is the root note. So Shel Silverstein, he starts every phrase on 1 chord and ends it on another chord. I've got a couple more years on you, babe, that's all. Raising a little tension by ending on this other chord. I've had more chances to fly and more places to fall. And he goes back to the first chord. It kind of takes us away and brings us home. It's not that I'm wiser, it's just that I've spent more time with my back to the wall. Brings us away again. Oh, now I've got a couple more years on you, babe, that's all. So we end on the same chord we started with. We also end with the same first phrase. I've got a couple more years on you, babe, that's all. He said that, gave us some more meaning. And so when he comes back to repeat that phrase, it means that much more. Second verse is identical in that sense. He starts out with the phrase, I've walked a couple more roads than you, babe. Tells a little story. Tells a little story. I've walked a couple more roads than you, babe, that's all. He brings us right back to where we started. But by giving us this, I've got a few more years on you, babe, I've got a little more experience, and then walked a couple more roads, he's kind of talking about that experience a little more. Another beautiful thing about this song, the third verse, he turns it around. Instead of me being wiser than you, it's now time is changing, or us both, and one day soon, you'll be saying the same thing to someone else. The third verse is saying, goodbye, girl, don't ever come easy at all. Saying, I'm having a hard time breaking up with you right now, but you gotta fly because you're hearing them young eagles call, and then one day soon, you'll say these same words to someone else. And it's this great cyclical thing, this part of human nature that he was talking about. And by using these very simple phrases, and even making it feel more simple and relaxed by ending every single line in the song with all the same rhyme. He's not giving us more information in that sense. He keeps bringing it on home. And the song has a real universal simplicity and beauty, but it's also wonderfully wise. Yeah, incredible song.